third straight defeat for the rising Pune Supergiant and the first win of the tournament for the Gujarat Lions. We're looking back on that game with Brad Hogg and Ajit Agarkar for company. A couple of overs left in the end, Brad, for Gujarat as they finished that off. Was that just a case of a very good batting performance, or actually Pune, when they batted first, just didn't post enough on the board?
I think Pune didn't post enough on the board, but the Supergiant was still in the game there. But it was McCullum who took the game away, took on their spearhead or their weapon, Tahir. Now Tahir has been the dominant factor for the Supergiant. Didn't show a wink tonight, and that was just because McCullum took a risk. But there was one positive for the Supergiant, and that was Thakur. I thought he bowled exceptionally well, and if he and Tahir can get a roll on, maybe the Supergiant can get back into this tournament.
Yes, because it is starting to look a little bit grim now for the Pune team. However, from Gujarat's perspective, they needed something like this. They had been a bit sort of quiet in the tournament, but they got a bowling performance out, most importantly, and then their big name international batsman has got them home towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, they were Supergiant were 60 of 5, and then to restrict them to 170 needed a special bowling performance, which they got, especially from Andrew Tye, but the other guys chipped in as well. You know, with Jadeja in that team again gives them a lot more balance. You know, Dwayne Smith, I like Dwayne Smith up at the top. He, you know, if he starts well, he gets that 30-40 so quickly, takes so much pressure on the rest of the batting, and McCullum seemed to have enjoyed that, you know, because took pressure off him. And he himself got into a bit of hitting form, and Ryan and Finch then, you know, just the experience, finished it beautifully. It was a little bit tricky, a wicket or two at that point, and it could have been very, very tricky for Gujarat, but two experienced set and batted just beautifully. I mean, there was some decent bowling today from Supergiant, but came up against two really good players to finish the innings.
Yeah, if you're in the Pune camp right now, you've got all this personnel, this sort of international quality, these wise heads, lots of international captains, the best all-rounder in the world available in the camp, being led by the captain of the world's, one of the world's premier teams, MS Dhoni there, all of this, yet as a unit it doesn't seem to be coming together.
Well, there could be too many Chiefs and not enough Indians in the camp. You never know what's happening behind the scenes, and there was an interview with Stephen Fleming, the coach, during their bowling performance today, and that was only in the 6th over, and it didn't sound too positive. He didn't sound too positive that they were going to be in the game at the end. Yeah. And when you hear a coach that's as positive as Stephen Fleming being a little negative in certain aspects of their team, it's not a good sign. And
sorry, go on.
No, go.
No, in their defence though, today this probably was their best bowling performance.
Yeah.
And even though they lost with 2 overs, I think there are some good signs there which we've not seen in the previous few games.
Yes, in particular the performances of Rahul Chahar as well as Shardul Thakur there. One final thought, from a Gujarat perspective, yes, they've arrested that, well, it's not a sequence when you lose just 2, but they've arrested that sort of slide a little bit, but they still have problems in that bowling department that against stronger teams could get found out.
Yes, but at least they're starting to find guys who can do a job for them. They definitely need that overseas bowler to lead their attack. Yes. You know, at some stages they'll get Dhaval Kulkarni back in, who missed out today. I mean, Jakati didn't look great, so they could perhaps go with an all-seam attack, and Jadeja. Yeah. Not advisable. Ideally, you would want to have 2 spinners, but they could do that. You want to play your best bowler, so they're getting somewhere. You know, and they're top 2. You know, top 2. If Dwayne Smith and McCullum keep firing, yes, then a lot of their problems are looked after.
Well, I think they've got a pretty good balanced attack there. I think Kumar, he went for 50 odd today, 51, but he swings the ball. If he gets breakthroughs early on, that allows the spinners to come into the game down the track. And that young Tampai, I really like this guy, young fella. He's willing to adjust to conditions. He's willing to try the new ball, to try variations when there's tough situations. So he backs himself. So they've got 3 great seamers there with Tye in that bowling attack. And then you've got Smith, Rayner, that can fill in the other 4 overs just to fill in, because you've got Jadeja as a spinner there. I think they've got a pretty balanced attack. It's just about getting the consistency out the right end of the tournament. And let's not be too concerned at this end of the tournament. They've got a couple of wins on the board when they're not going well. If they get a bit of momentum at the start of next month, these guys could be the ones to beat.
And also remember that Dwayne Bravo at some point in this tournament will become available. James Faulkner sitting in the hut, so they have some options there as well. Thank you so much to Brad and Ajit for joining us on a day that Gujarat have registered their first win of the tournament.